Hey Quad Bros, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Glad to have you guys here. Hope you enjoy this video. We finally got back and got around to getting to the Germany-Tunisia prediction video, the Axis, I should say, I suppose. I do want to make it clear real quick here, guys. This is kind of shifted away from being a prediction video to more of like a, if I had pure creative control and design control over this faction in Tunisia for the Axis, then it's what I would do, right? And that's kind of where we're at. It's kind of shifted away from prediction. I don't really think this is what they're gonna do, but I had a lot of fun doing this. After the British came out, you know, after my British video came out, I was like, oh, like, you know, what would the Axis look like? And the Brits were different because the Brits were a lot of you know, it was kind of obvious with the British on what was going to be there, right? Like I knew what weapons, I think. And for the most part, it was finding weapons to fill in the gaps, not so much deciding which weapons to include. So I didn't have as much design space as I feel like I kind of did with the Axis here, guys. So I've had a lot of fun making this. Just to give you guys a kind of general rundown and to preface my my ideas here. I think that one of the biggest problems with the Axis right now and Enlisted is they kind of unlock the same weapons over and over again, which I find to be really, really boring. Like, I don't want to unlock an MP40 for the 10th goddamn time. Like, it's just not that interesting, right? So, I've kind of gone a different route here where I've made it to where my Axis are going to be a mix of the Italians and the Germans, because the Italians obviously were fighting there. And the way I've done that is by having all of the small arms that the Axis are using are going to be Italian weapons. So Italian rifles, Italian SMGs, and then they're going to be supplemented by the Germans, right? So it's going to be majority Italians, and then it's going to be supplemented by Germans. So we're going to see like the Kar 98 and things like that. Anywhere where they're kind of, I felt like there needed to be a little bit of a bump or a little bit more variety. And also, you know, just for development reasons, you know, you'd want to reuse assets. So I threw some of that stuff in because that makes sense. And then, of course, German tanks. We're not going to see any Italian tanks. Some Italian planes, but eventually those are going to get phased out as well in my little nice little system here. So, guys, I hope you guys enjoy the video. That's a quick rundown of how I'm doing things. Hopefully just to give you a little preface of my kind of line of thinking and how I kind of built this. So, again, hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's jump right into it, starting off with the starter weapons for the Axis for my little Axis faction here. So the default weapon for every soldier that I would go with would be the Carcano carbine. This was, you know, the Italian carbine variant of the Carcano rifle. And really, guys, I'm just going with this because it's, you know, it's not as good as like an actual rifle, but it does have its use. It could be a little bit better up close. It could give you at close range a good weapon, you know, kind of like how the Mosin carbine functions in Moscow. Same kind of idea there. Now, for the starting infantry squad and one of the starting rifles, I would go with the Pz.3, just a kind of alternate German kind of rifle. Not a great one, not a perfect one. Think like the Pz.4. It's a little bit different. I think these were Czech guns, I think. I might be wrong on that. Let me know in the comments, guys. Pretty sure that the VZs were Czech guns that were used by the Germans, and I think eventually modified to be basically like Kar 98s. But anyway, Pz.3 there. Starting assault squad would get the OVP 1918. This was a really weird gun, and I want the, you know, just for the starting SMGs, because you're going to unlock an SMG pretty quick in my little run through, just like with the British. Just the OVP, it's kind of like an old World War I gun. Pretty neat. It wasn't a bad gun by any stretch, from what I really found online. Was a pretty solid gun, but again, you just gotta have that kind of starting World War I-esque kind of crappy gun, and that's what I went with the OVP. And then the sniper, starting off with the Carcano sniper rifle. You know, so you get kind of a taste for the Carcano rifle that you'll later unlock. So there you go. Pistols, not that anyone really cares. Beretta 1935, the Modello revolver 1889, and then we'll just say a Luger. Why not, right? Throw in a good old Luger there. And then let's jump right into the levels, guys, starting off at level 2 with the first unlock. And of course, we unlock a tank at the beginning, just like we did with Britain. And we're going to be starting off here with the Panzer II. I think that the Panzer II is going to be pretty outmatched by a lot of the tanks, unless it gets its better ammo. It needs to be getting its Pz.4 high velocity armor piercing ammo, at which point it'll be fine and it'll be able to take stuff on. If it gets its default ammo, it really just doesn't have the penetration to deal with something like a Valentine. And this was kind of a hard choice for me because I couldn't find something that really fit well with to go against the Valentine and wouldn't also scale against other tanks. So I went with the Panzer II, specifically with its better ammo, because if it gets its better ammo, excuse me, wrong thing here. If it gets its better ammo, it'll be a lot better versus tanks, and it'll be able to deal with tanks, and, you know, with that autocannon, it can do a lot of damage. And then, of course, still has its, you know, cannon against infantry, and its machine guns against infantry and things like that. So, level 2, I'm going to be going with the Panzer II here. Very lightly armored, but, of course, so is the Valentine. It'll deal with a Valentine just fine, in my opinion, at least with that upgraded ammo. And it's not going to be a great fight, but Germany will have its fair share of destroying British tanks as they level up. Rank 3, the engineer class, as is tradition, the engineer squad, I suppose I should say. And I'm going to give them the Car 98. Of course, there are so many Car 98s available that it'd be weird to not have the Car 98 available in this campaign. So, of course, giving him the Car 98, it'll be an interesting kind of like difference to the Carcano, which was a little bit less accurate, but I think fired a little bit faster, maybe. I don't know. Again, someone with a PhD will probably call me stupid or something like that. But anyway, it's just an alternate, and I always kind of like the idea of the differences between the Car 98 and the Lee Enfield, where the Car 98 is much more accurate at range, but the Lee Enfield fires much faster. So really interesting there, in my opinion, between those two rifles. And so I think it's a shame to not include it here. So there you go, Car 98, engineer, level 3. Now level 4, we're going to unlock our first fighter plane. It is going to be the CR-42 is what I'm going with, a biplane to go up against the Gladiator. Again, we don't even really know if the Gladiator is going to be there. That was kind of one of my big iffies, but we're assuming it is, so we got to give something to counter it, and I'm going to go with the CR-42. It's a neat little plane. It's not bad. It's not amazing. It's got 2 MGs, decent reload time. It can't have any bombs, but neither can the Gladiator, so who really cares? It's fine, right? It's a fighter plane. It's a little fighter biplane. This thing is going to get annihilated by later planes. But I mean, what biplane isn't? They obviously got phased out for a reason. So, you know, it's neat. It's cool. You can take out some enemy planes, with it, maybe get some turning down, you know, turn fight them and stuff like that, because they turn so quickly. I would like to see these with just like some small bombs. I don't know if historically they could carry bombs, but like, I don't know, you could slap some 50 kgs underneath here, right? Like, that's not impossible. Same with the Gladiator. I think the fighter should have something that they can do against enemy ground targets, or at least maybe buff these MGs to make them actually like a little bit more effective against ground targets. But anyway, guys, CR-42 is going to be what I have chosen as the first fighter unlock, the first plane unlock for the Axis forces, and then of course it'll later get phased out by some real Luftwaffe planes. Rank 5, we get the Beretta M1918, solid SMG, a fantastic SMG, incredibly high rate of fire. You guys might know this already from the Normandy campaign or the Moscow campaign you see here from the premium squad. And God, this weapon is so good. It's really one of my favorite SMGs to use in the game. So I think this will be a fantastic weapon to see the Italians get, and will give them some immense firepower at close range. Like I was saying before, really giving the Axis an edge in SMGs, as opposed to MGs like they are typically used to. So I think that's going to be pretty interesting. And then we'll probably get the Beretta M38 later on. So level 5 Beretta M1918, great SMG, gonna see that. We'll probably see this gun in the campaign no matter what. We've got our first bomber squad. I'm going with the PZB to go up against the Boys AT rifle. This thing sucks, like a lot. But so does the Boys AT rifle. And you got to give an AT rifle if you gave an AT rifle to the other one. And to be honest with you guys, the Germans really just didn't have very many AT weapons, like handheld AT weapons at this time in the war, as I'm aware. The Panzerfaust came later. The Panzerschreck, of course, came after captured bazookas were found. And you know, they made the Panzerschreck from the modeled after the bazooka. So they really just didn't have a whole lot of AT weapons. They relied a lot on their anti-tank guns, like the 88 and things like that. So I don't know. We'll go with the PZB. It should be able to do fairly well against the really lightly armored stuff like the Crusader, but like a Matilda, I don't think this thing is going to do anything. And they'll get another anti-tank weapon here soon. But I think that for the most part, I've kind of designed it to where the Axis really need to rely on their tanks to deal with enemy tanks as well. And also we'll have the mobile AT guns as well with that new update. So the mobile AT guns could be really important as well. Tunisia could be pretty open battlefield, so those AT guns could end up being really, really powerful. Rank 7, our radio operator squad and our mainline rifles as we tend to unlock in the campaign here. I'm going to go with the Carcano rifle, the Italian, standard issue rifle in World War II. Now, the Carcano was, as far as I'm aware, a just decent rifle. Obviously, it gets outclassed by the Lee Enfield, and probably outclassed by the Kar98. And that's kind of a weird thing with this campaign, but honestly, guys, I wasn't really sure where to fit things, and you can always tweak the numbers and things like that to make the Carcano a pretty fair rifle and make it pretty solid. So, overall, even if it's not as good as the Lee Enfield, which it probably wasn't, and actually, I know it's just not. But the Carcano, it was a good enough rifle, right? It's a solid rifle, and to be honest with you guys, the rifles are really not supposed to be the strength of this faction that I've kind of designed here. It's more supposed to be the SMGs and the tanks. So that's not really their strong point. Is not their rifles. The rifles are solid, they're fine, but they're not amazing. So level 7, the Carcano rifle for the Africa Corps. Now, for level 8, you unlock your first attack plane. I'm going with the BA-65. I'm pretty sure, historically speaking, this thing was pretty trash, or at least was pretty outdated. But, I mean, of course it is. Like, it's not like the Italian freaking Air Force was, like, something to behold or anything like that. So, it's solid. It's got some MGs on it. It can hold its own in the air. But really, the big thing that it does have is it does have 50 kg ability and 100 kg ability. So probably give this a couple 100 kg bombs, call it a day. I think it is actually, 200 kg bombs. It's fine. Good starter plane, good attack starting plane. Not obscenely powerful, but it is certainly decent. So, BA-65 definitely could go against, what I think it was the Hurricane, I think I said, or something like that. It'll be solid. On to the first MG unlock, the gunner squad for the Axis, the Breda mod 30. Guys, we all know from Normandy that this gun is not that good. I do expect this to be in the campaign regardless, because it's already in the game and it's an Italian LMG. But guys, the Italians really just aren't supposed to have very good LMGs. That's kind of how I've designed this. Like I said, I want it to be a little bit different from the other campaigns where the Axis are the ones that are good at close range, while the Allies are the ones that are good at longer range with better MGs. Because I just think that gives a little bit different of a play style. So we're giving them the Breda Italian LMG. And guys, I think that this gun is a little bit better than what people think it is. I mean, some people are saying this is the worst MG in the game. They're saying that it's totally terrible. I don't know, man. I don't think that's entirely true. I think it's okay. It's not amazing, but it's okay. So rank 9, guys, gunner squad, the Breda mod 30. And our second tank unlock at level 10 to go up against the Crusader, I think it was. Something like that. I think I said the Crusader. Will be the Pz.3 J1, the long barrel 50mm cannon. I think we have this right now in Moscow, I want to say. I'm pretty sure this is the Moscow final unlock. It's solid. It's a great little tank. It's got great armor pin at 106. Good armor. Again, we're going to see a lot of tank dominance from the Germans in Tunisia. I think the Allied tanks are going to be a little bit more of infantry support and are just going to kind of get outclassed for the most part. But they have a fighting chance, and most of them are going to be able to penetrate. And I think the Crusader is pretty easily able to penetrate this. Forgive me, I have not played the Crusader in quite a while. It would be the... Is this the right Crusader? No, that's the 2-pounder Crusader. It's a Crusader 3. That's what I said. Yeah, easily able to pen this here. So definitely solid. Crusader can do a great job against this thing, but Crusaders have great armor penetration, things like that. So Pz.3 J, I'm going with it. It'll be able to fight a Crusader pretty easily, in my opinion. And guys, we might see a different variant of the Pz.3 J. This is just the one I kind of chose. We could see the Pz.3 L, or even the M. I really don't know. I don't even think there's very much of a difference between these. Again, I'm sure someone with a PhD in War Thunder probably knows in the comments and will be able to tell me. Is it just more MGs? I don't know, man. Why would you ever unlock these in this game? Anyway, shouldn't go off on a rant. Pz.3, this is a 2. Pz.3 J1. One of those Pz.3s will be what we see, because there were a lot of Pz.3s running around in Tunisia. Level 11. Level 11. That's a tough one. That's a tongue twister. The mortars, guys. The mortar squad. I don't like mortars. I don't have any footage of it because because what I just said. I don't like mortars, so I don't really use them. I don't even like using them to get footage for you guys. All right, so sorry, but the mortar squad, the Brixia Model 35 is what I'm going with. Guys, the mortars are mortars in this game for gameplay purposes. They're not any different. They're just mortars. So you get a mortar. There you go. The Brixia Model 35 is what I'm going with for the Africa Corps' starting mortar here. Level 12. 12? It's 12, right, guys? We're on 12, right? Yeah, level 12. Level 12. Level 12, Fighter 2s unlocked. This goes up against, I believe, the Hurricane or something that I chose. I don't remember, guys. But it's going up against another fighter at 2.0. I remember that. The RE2000 GA. I chose the GA over the standard one because the GA can have some little bombs. Just some little 50 kgs or something slapped onto the bottom of this thing. Just to make it a little bit more interesting. It's a neat little plane. I've been told that it's pretty solid. It's not bad. It can maybe go up against the Hurricane and do something. Maybe. But guys, again, I want the my whole idea here is it's basically going to be kind of the Italian planes are going to be a little bit worse. The air battle is going to be won by Britain, or at least have a slight edge at the beginning. And then as people level up, we're going to be seeing more Luftwaffe planes, you know, the Bf109 and things like that, which were more rare in Tunisia. But when they did show up, they were very, very dominant and very, very scary for the RAF pilots. So that's kind of my idea, is we're going to see less of them because it's going to be a higher level. So there you go, Fighter 2s, and eventually turning into Fighter 3s will be the 109. But for now, Fighter 2s, RE2000, level 12. I'm committing to that. Level 12. Rank 12. Excuse me, rank 13. The Modello 35 Flamethrower, the Flametrooper squad. This thing got eventually replaced by the Modello 40, which I will basically assume would be the Flametrooper 2. So, going with Flametrooper ones, they get the Modello 35 Flametrooper. I mean, guys, it's a flamethrower. They're all the same. What do you want from me? This video's going on for a long time. All right, it's a flamethrower. Next up, rank 12, whatever it is. Sniper 2s. I'm gonna be going with the Kar98 with the scope mount. Nothing super special here, guys. Again, bolt actions are gonna kind of rule the day. The Gewehr 43 wasn't out yet. Or maybe it was at like the very end of the war, and we could see Gewehr 43s with the scope mount. I mean, for God's sake, we have jumbos in Normandy, so like, I mean, what do you want from me? And I would be okay with that. I'd be okay with a semi-auto sniper just for the Germans, or just for the Axis. But I'm gonna go with the Kar98 here. I know all this footage right now you're seeing is a Gewehr, but I'm going with the Kar98 with a scope, just a little bit more accurate than the Carcano that you start with. So, you know, just a little solid upgrade. Rank 15, the next tank, gonna be the mighty Pz.4 F2, the first long barrel Pz.4, as far as I'm aware. Now, I've got it pulled up here. 500 meters is way farther than we're ever going to see any combat enlisted, but say 200 meters, this is with the Matilda, with its standard ammo. You can see it can pin. It can do pretty well here and do, kind of tickle some guys in there, but I mean, you pin the turret here, slap them cheeks, get a kill or two there. It's not great, right? It's not a good matchup for the Matilda, which I think is good. I think that the Germans should have an advantage in armor. They did have an advantage in armor, historically speaking. But I mean, the Matilda can fight back, right? Like if you get some good shots, right, you can do well, but it is a losing battle for the most part. Definitely some German bias here for the tanks, 100%. But I mean, if you get a good shot right there, man, if you can break that turret ring, maybe, and the Crusader is going to do much better against this thing. So you kind of get the Matilda, where the Matilda is going to do a lot of damage, or be able to soak up a lot of damage. A lot more armor and stuff like that. But it's got a much worse gun. So if we check out like the Crusader here, right? Like the Crusader is going to do a lot more, just a bigger shot, right? You can see, bam, big damage. So we'll see what happens, guys. But I'm going to go with the Pz.4 F2, big old Panzer IV. I think one of the first uses of the long barrel Panzer IV, at least against the Allies. There you go. Nothing special here. Rank 16 Trooper 2s. As with every single campaign and with my British prediction video, guys, we get Infantry 2s with a grenade launcher. So Infantry 2, Car 98 with a grenade launcher, because the Italians, I don't think, actually had grenade launcher attachments for like their Carcano. So it's part of the reason why I even included the Car 98 in this campaign, was because they didn't have it. They had like some weird like grenade launcher attachment that took like 10 years to like change between or something like that. So they had to like totally redo the whole barrel. It was like the Peterson device or something like that. So anyway, it doesn't matter. Point being, Car 98 with the grenade launcher is rank 16 for Trooper 2s. Rank 17, gunners are getting an upgrade here, guys. It's the, forgive me, the Fusil Mitrailleur Modello 1924 M29, otherwise known as the MAC 2429. It was a French LMG. I don't know why I keep including these French LMGs, and funnily enough, we're also getting 2 French LMGs in this campaign at the same level. At least in my prediction is what I mean. But I don't know why I keep including these and making myself look dumb pronouncing these. But either way, guys, it was the successor to the Chaushay LMG, so a decent gun. Right, from what I'm seeing, it was solid. The Italians captured a bunch of them. The Italians and the Germans both captured a bunch of them. And so I've been told that they used it fairly extensively. So it makes sense having here in North Africa in this campaign as a different LMG and as an upgrade to the Breda. So there you go, guys. That's what I'm going with, is the MAC 2429. All right, now to go up against the bow fighter at level 18. I think we're 18. Yeah, 18. Is the Bf110. We've already got some Bf110s in the game. I don't remember if the Bf110 in the other campaigns is the F2 or not, or if it's a C7 or one of the other millions of variants or whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bf110. Big old bomber. Well, not a bomber. It's technically a heavy fighter, I think. But it can have some 250 kg bombs. It also apparently have a 1000 kg bomb. You guys think that would be fun? I don't think so. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the 250 kg bombs on the Bf110 F2. Again, just a big old plane to kind of go up against the bow fighter. Big beefy plane, things like that. So going with the 110. Rank 19, I'm going to go with the Faustpatrone, simply because I don't want to give the stern pistol again, because screw that noise. Although I do think we're going to get the stern pistol again. I'm just warning you guys now. But yeah, the Faustpatrone, it was a predecessor to the Panzerfaust. It wasn't really that good. Like, it was much less effective than the Panzerfaust. There's a reason the Panzerfaust became really, really, iconic and well-known and widespread use, but it didn't exist yet. So I'm going with the Faustpatrone, and again, technically the Faustpatrone shouldn't really be in North Africa, I don't think, from what I'm seeing online, but, if we have jumbos in Normandy, I think we can make a little bit of a historical accuracy for balance purposes here. So, rank 19, going with the good old Faustpatrone. Finally, the Tiger. Level 20 for the Axis. I don't know if we're going to get this level 20. We might get it later. We might get it earlier. I don't know. But it's my video, and it's my faction. So I'm going to say level 20, guys. Screw you guys, alright? Level 20, the Tiger. It's going to be going up against the Churchill. I think I said the Churchill 3. I could have said the Churchill 7. Doesn't really matter. Neither of them can really deal with this damn thing. Even at point blank range. Let's say at 100, right? Yeah, you can pin, but it's not going to do anything. And then the Tiger shoots you and you die. Like, you have to hit this thing at least 2 times. You got to take out the gunner. If you can hit it right in here, I think that's kind of a weak spot. I don't really know. I don't really remember. Yeah, if you can take out its turret drive, you might have a fighting chance. You can kind of you can kind of, like, you can slap its cheeks here. You can slap some cheeks right there. You can do a little bit of damage, but I mean, this is not a fight that you want to be taking when you are in a British tank. I mean, there is a reason this thing was so damn scary to the Allies in Tunisia, and I mean, this is why. I mean, maybe you can slap that ammo right there. Nope, not really. So, yeah, Tiger Tank, guys. This thing is gonna be incredible. There you go. Blow up the ammo. Maybe you can win a fight doing that. Gonna be scary. Gonna be really, really dominant, guys. I, for one, welcome our new Tiger Overlords in Tunisia. So, looking forward to it, guys. That's it. That's all 20 levels. Thanks for watching the video, guys. If you guys enjoyed it, remember, as always, like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out. I do appreciate it, guys. I had a lot of fun making this video. If you guys enjoy these types of videos, please let me know in the comments. And let me know also, guys, what are you guys excited for? What are you guys excited for the Axes? You guys hyped for the Tiger? You guys, not so excited for the Tiger because you're crazy or something like that? I don't know. Let me know. You guys agree with my list? Do you guys think my list is fair compared to the British list? Do you think I'm being, biased or what? Just let me know. I'd love to talk to you guys about it. Remember, you can come chat with me, twitch.tv/HeyQuadro. Love to have you guys over there. We stream a lot, and we'll be streaming tons of Tunisia when it comes out. And finally, guys, you can also join our community Discord. The link for that is in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Take it easy, guys.